Have you ever wondered why some prayers seem to go unanswered? Why the universe appears silent when we need it most? Today, we're going to explore this topic that might change your perspective about divine timing and the sacred space of waiting. There comes a moment in every life when words fail, when your own strength crumbles, when you find yourself on your knees not because you're trying to be spiritual, but because you simply can't stand anymore. If you've been there, you know exactly what I mean. If you haven't, trust me, this message is still for you. This moment, this raw, unscripted falling is sacred, not because it's beautiful, not because it's inspiring, but because it's real. When you reach this place, something extraordinary happens. You stop performing prayer and start living it. Think about this truth. The most powerful prayers often contain no words at all. They're exhaled in tears, in the quiet breaking of pride, in the honest admission that you can't do this alone anymore. This isn't weakness. It's the first real strength you've ever known. When you truly ask, not from your lips, but from that broken, honest place within you, you will receive. And this isn't theory. It isn't positive thinking. It's a law as certain as gravity. But here's what we misunderstand. Receiving doesn't mean getting what we want when we want it. Divine timing exists outside our desperate schedules, outside our panic, outside our plans. And this isn't because of cruelty or indifference. It's because there's a vision at work that sees what we cannot, the full tapestry of our lives, where every thread serves a purpose we can't yet comprehend. Consider this, you're not actually waiting, you're becoming. Every moment between asking and receiving is active, alive, and purposeful. You think you're in a waiting room, but you're actually in an operating room. Something is being transformed within you, something essential. Let me share something powerful with you. Every great transformation in nature requires a period of apparent stillness. A seed doesn't instantly become a flower. A caterpillar doesn't immediately transform into a butterfly. There's a sacred space of becoming that can't be rushed. In nature, this principle is everywhere. The mighty oak tree spends years developing its root system before it reaches towering heights. The diamond endures immense pressure before it reveals its brilliance. The grandest canyon is carved by patient waters over time. These aren't just poetic metaphors. They're living testimonies to the power of divine timing. Think about how a pearl is formed, layer upon layer of transformation happening in the dark, under pressure. What looks like nothing happening on the outside is actually profound change happening on the inside. Your prayers work the same way. Each layer of waiting builds another level of strength, another dimension of wisdom, another facet of understanding. And sometimes what you're asking for requires a complete rewiring of your inner world and of your nervous system. It's like upgrading the operating system of your very soul. And just like a computer can't run new software on an old operating system, you can't receive certain blessings until you've been upgraded to handle them. This upgrading process is intricate and precise. It touches every part of who you are, your beliefs, your patterns, your ways of seeing and being in the world. It's not just about becoming ready to receive. It's about becoming ready to sustain and steward what you're asking for. Let's look at some examples that might resonate with your own journey. Imagine someone praying for great love, yet hasn't learned to love themselves. The waiting period isn't punishment, it's preparation. It's the sacred space where self-love takes root. This waiting is divinely orchestrated for them to learn to set healthy boundaries, to value their own worth, to understand what real love looks and feels like. Without this preparation, even if they found love, they might not know how to keep it or honor it or nurture it. Picture someone asking for abundance while still carrying deep patterns of scarcity. The delay isn't denial, it's divine protection, allowing time for their mindset to shift from lack to abundance. They need to learn that abundance isn't just about having more, it's about becoming someone who knows how to create, maintain, and share wealth wisely. Consider a soul requesting deep peace while still addicted to chaos. The gap between asking and receiving becomes the very space where new patterns can form. They need to learn to recognize their role in creating drama, to understand the difference between excitement and chaos, to value stillness without feeling empty. Think about someone praying for a position of leadership or influence. If they received it immediately, Their unexamined shadows might cause harm. The waiting period becomes a crucible where their character is refined, where they develop the wisdom to lead with humility, the strength to stand firm in challenges, and the compassion to guide others effectively. Here's a wider perspective. Your breakthrough often requires perfect timing, not just in your life, but in the lives of others. What feels like delay to you might be precise coordination on a cosmic scale. You're not just waiting for your piece of the puzzle, you're waiting for all the pieces to align. Consider how many life-changing moments happen because of perfect timing. The person you needed to meet wasn't ready to meet you 5 years ago. The opportunity you're hoping for requires someone else to go through their own journey of preparation. The dream you're holding might need a whole series of events to unfold in just the right sequence. Think about the times you thought you couldn't wait another day, another hour, another minute. Yet here you are. You made it through. Not because you were strong enough, but because something stronger than you held you up. This is what real faith looks like, not the absence of doubt, but the presence of support even in the midst of it. In these moments of waiting, something profound is happening. You're developing spiritual muscles you didn't know you needed. Just as physical muscles grow through resistance, your spiritual and emotional capacity grows through waiting. Each day of patience builds another layer of strength, another level of wisdom, another degree of understanding. Let's talk about something that might be hard to hear. Sometimes we're not waiting on divine timing. Divine timing is waiting on us, waiting for us to stop performing and start being real, to release our need to control the process, to let go of how we think it should look, to trust in a wisdom greater than our understanding, to develop the capacity to handle what we're asking for, to learn the lessons necessary for sustainable success, to release old patterns that no longer serve us, and to build the foundation for lasting change. Consider how many times you've tried to bargain with the divine. If you give me this, I'll do that. If you make this happen, I'll never ask for anything else. This isn't prayer. It's transaction. And the universe doesn't operate on transactional terms. It operates on transformational ones. And here's another powerful truth. What you're really asking for is often bigger than what you think you're asking for. When you pray for love, you're really asking for the capacity to give and receive love unconditionally. When you pray for success, you're really asking for the wisdom to handle it responsibly. When you pray for healing, you're really asking for the transformation that makes healing possible. And these deeper requests require deeper preparation. Just as you wouldn't hand a pilot's license to someone who's never studied aviation, the universe doesn't hand over profound blessings without profound preparation. This isn't about worthiness, it's about readiness. The time between asking and receiving isn't punishment. It isn't divine indifference. It's sacred space where transformation happens. Sometimes you need to become a different person to receive what you're asking for. Not because you're not worthy as you are, but because the person you are now wouldn't know how to hold what you're asking for. Think of it this way. When a master sculptor looks at a block of marble, they see the finished statue within it. The time it takes to chip away the excess isn't delay. It's the very process that reveals the masterpiece. Your life is that masterpiece in the making. Every day of waiting is another careful chip of the chisel, revealing more of who you're meant to become. Each challenge you face in the waiting isn't an obstacle. It's an opportunity. Every test of patience isn't a delay. It's development. Every moment of frustration isn't a setback. It's set up for something greater than you can imagine. The very things that feel like barriers to your blessing might be building blocks for your breakthrough. That person who seems to be standing in your way might be teaching you exactly what you need to learn. That situation that feels like a detour might be the direct path to your very destiny. So here's what I want you to remember. You're not stuck, you're being prepared. You're not forgotten, you're being positioned. You're not being punished, you're being protected. The very delay you're fighting against might be the thing saving you from what you're not ready to handle. Your asking has been heard. Your need has been recognized. The response is already in motion, but it moves at the speed of divine wisdom, not human impatience. And in this truth lies your peace. Not that you will receive what you need when you want it, but that you will receive it when it can truly serve its highest purpose in your life. I'd like to end this video by inviting you to contemplate this. The same force that holds the stars in place holds your life in its hands. The same wisdom that orchestrates the seasons orchestrates your journey. The same love that breathes life into every morning is working all things together for your good. So trust not just the what, but the when. Because sometimes the greatest gift isn't getting what you pray for, it's becoming who you were meant to be in the waiting. Thank you for watching. This is Ayla, signing off.